All right. I think we are now streaming on Facebook Live. I apologize for the craziness. So, if you're just joining us on Facebook or if you want to come join us on Zoom, I've put the link in our Facebook group if you'd like to come join us. I am Monica and I am a money expert. I help women and a few amazing men be able to double their incomes. I teach money, I teach marketing, I teach sales. And as a part of what I've been doing this for over a decade now. We're going on 11 years. And I have to say that one of the main things that I have learned about the work that I do is that if you don't go under the surface to get sort of at the beliefs and the mindsets and what's actually going on for people, if you don't go underneath the surface, there's this place where people just hit walls. And it doesn't matter how much marketing you do, it doesn't matter how much sales you do, it doesn't matter, how much work you do to fill an event. There's this place where we need to look at belief work. And so I do a form of healing work where I look at the beliefs that are sabotaging you, the money beliefs, and help you to determine how to clear and how to heal them. And I'm super excited today to be here with two amazing entrepreneurs who have agreed to participate with us and start with our money healings. And before we get started here, what I'm going to ask both of you to do is make sure you have water near you. And I'm actually going to grab my water from back here. I will be right back.
I'm all ready to go.
All right. Just because it helps with the healings if you're hydrated and if you've been drinking a bit of water before we get started. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. Carmen, we'll get started with you. So
Okay.
tell me what you do, Carmen, or tell us what you do.
I am a yoga teacher. I've been teaching for about 12 years, 10, 12 years-ish. And it's been through this process that it's clear that I need to shift things around to just create a different lifestyle. And the way the model of yoga studios as it is doesn't work anymore. So I'm just noticing all the blockages that I have with money and how to
shift and
move
change.
those.
Okay, great. And what would you say is your biggest struggle or area that you want to work on?
Ooh, the what is enough.
Yeah.
I think like having the understanding like, okay, but I have enough. What do I need more money for?
And is that
Or
coming up for you?
that is what has been coming up, and a little bit of the value. I mean, what is underneath that possibly is more a lot of the value of my service.
Okay. Okay, so let's check some basic money permissions for you because we do need to check those first. So stand up for a moment, and both of you stand up for this part because we're just gonna calibrate. And so I just want you to say, my name is, and then whatever, and say, fill in your name there. And then I just want you to feel if your body goes forward or backward.
My name is Carmen Guerrero. Forward.
Okay, good. And Kathy?
My name is Kathy Nolan.
Okay, good. So those are your yeses. Both of you had strong yeses, which is awesome. Now and you can just do, I am a purple giraffe, and just say that out loud and close your eyes and see what happens.
I am a purple giraffe.
I'm a purple giraffe. Leaning backwards.
And Carmen, you leaning. Okay, so that's your no. Very good. Yay. We've got it easy today. So now we know your yeses and your nos. And so, Kathy, I'm just going to invite you to put yourself on mute, but feel free to do the muscle testing with us. If you want to, so that you can get the healing. And anybody that is watching on Facebook or live or wherever you are, feel free to do the muscle testing with us and to receive the healing, because this can be done any place, anytime. So Carmen, for you, I want you to test, I'm allowed to ask for money.
I am allowed to ask for money. forward.
Okay, good. That was yes. I'm allowed to ask for money for my business. Or actually, for your body wants for me. I'm allowed to ask for money for me.
I'm allowed to ask for money for me.
That's a no. Okay. I figured now let's get into it a little bit deeper and figure out why. I'm not allowed to ask for money because I have to serve. Just try that. I'm not allowed to ask for money because I have to serve.
I am not allowed to ask for money because I need to serve.
Yeah. And then there's another thing that I think is also, um, I'm not allowed to ask for money because I have to hide my gifts.
I'm not allowed to ask for money because I need to hide my gifts.
Yeah. And that was a stronger yes, right?
That made a knot in my stomach.
Okay, yeah. Okay. All right. So what we've got here, you can have a seat, and so for you, what came up for you when when you got the knot in your stomach? Where do you think this comes from?
The idea of healing, not having a monetary exchange, the conflict of spirituality and riches.
Yeah. So what I'm getting for you, Carmen, is that you're I'm just getting in a very very far, like, you're a very old soul and you've lived many lifetimes, and in a very old lifetime you made a contract that you just didn't need money, and that you were never going to take money for your gifts, and that was just the way it was back then. And when you made that contract, it's interesting because I'm not sensing that it was like a horrible thing. Like, I'm not sensing that you were doing it out of duress or that anything negative necessarily happened. I'm just getting that you made the contract because in the lifetime in which you made the contract, money wasn't that important. Your family had a lot of it. You had a lot of it. Your community had, and it wasn't even it. Like, money wasn't circulating in the same way that it is now, and so you just didn't need it as much. And so what I am, so what's interesting is we just need to bring it all front and center to this lifetime and to this experience. So what I'm going to do is, and what that actually, Carmen, for you in your life now, do you feel like are your expenses taken care of? Are your basic needs met, or are you needing more money to meet them?
My basic needs are met.
And have you always found that your basic needs are met? See, because you're still living. So I suspected, like, you're still kind of living that way now. You know what I mean? In the sense that all your basic needs are met. And so I do want you to know, Carmen, for you, this experience of expansion, it's not about money. And I don't know that it ever will be, frankly, for you. Like, it'll be, if you expand and grow yourself and your business, the money that you bring in, you will always you'll always kind of look at that as a place for you to create a legacy, to give to your family and friends, to sort of improve your community and improve the world as a whole. But I'm not, but I'm not sure that you're ever going to look at it as like an outcome and an end in and of itself. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
And you're good. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Like, I don't think we need to heal or clear that. I just think it's good for you to know that that's who you are. And so you always need to remember, Carmen, with whatever expansion you choose, whoever you work with needs to understand that about you, that your drive will come from impact, and legacy and give back, and not necessarily money. Does that make sense?
It does.
Okay. And do you have any thoughts coming up on that?
It feels like a weight is lifted off my shoulders.
Okay, because you got quiet, so I wanted to make sure everything was okay.
It just felt like, yeah, natural.
Yeah.
Of course, that's the answer.
Yeah. Yeah. And I say that to you just because it's a little bit unusual. That's all. Do you know what I mean? And so you may work with people who may try to put you in their box. You know what I mean? And like, and just making sure you're clear that you don't necessarily need to be in that box. And that's okay. But we are going to clear. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back to that past lifetime, and we're going to clear and release the contract. And in some ways, it was a commitment, a curse. No, it was sort of a contract commitment blessing in a lot of ways for you. We're going to release it, and we're going to carry forward all the beautiful things about it, because there's a lot of beauty that came from it. Like, you have learned to always feel comfortable in your environments and in what you're doing. You've learned to provide. You've learned to be a natural giver, and an amazing, like, creator and instigator of change and transformation, and an activist. You're like a natural activist for individuals and for communities, and none of that has to do with money. It all has to do with change and transformation. So we're going to keep all of those skills and magnify those that you've learned. It's almost like you've learned to work outside of money. Like, that has been one of your biggest, and we're going to keep that because it's a beautiful thing. But we're also going to make you allowed to ask for money, and to, whatever you choose to do with that money is up to you. Whatever, if you save it, if you keep it for yourself, if you give it away, we're just going to allow you. And we are also going to, you don't have to hide your gifts anymore. So we're going to clear and release the commitment to hide your gifts, and especially to like not be allowed to charge for your gifts. We're going to clear and release that too. And we're going to upgrade for you, for your ancestors, because you've got a lot of ancestors and angels and guides, like other beings that kind of walk with you. And there's always like just a pack of energetic things around you. And it's good. They're all like protective of you, and you communicate with them quite a bit, and they communicate with you quite a bit. And so we're just going to up level and upgrade for all of them this definition of money, and how in this world and in this lifetime, and in the future lifetimes, pretty much forward from this one, money's a thing, as a human being on this plane, and we need to have it. We need to be allowed to make it. We need to be allowed to ask for it. And in fact, we have to trade our gifts for it, because in a lot of ways, it's how people value our gifts. If we don't ask for money, they don't actually get the impact. And a lot of your guides are very interested in transformation, and channeling that transformation with you and through you. And so we're just kind of going to upgrade their understanding that they're going to make a lot more transformation for people if they ask for money for it. And that they're going to get more of what they want in the world if they ask for money for it. So we're just going to download all of that. We're going to clear all of those commitments. We're going to upgrade. We're going to give you creator's definition of money and impact and gifts and visibility. And we're also just going to up level like your why, so that we're just going to give you permission to live outside of sort of societal rules, so that you don't have to like think, oh, I have to be visible for everyone else's reasons. Like, I can be visible and make an impact for my reasons, for the way I want to be, for what I want to put in the world. We're just going to download all of those beliefs. And then we're also going to give you the permission to be in your full power, and to show your full strength, and to not hold back anymore. You don't have to hold back anymore. You don't have to hide anymore. And we're up leveling that belief set for all of your ancestors and your guides, your angels, everybody as well. We're also just going to give you a shot of energy, because there's a little bit of fatigue there around your heart space, and around like this area. So maybe adrenal thyroid area. So we're just going to give that some love and some energy as well. And we're going to open up your voice chakra, because that's a bit blocked right here, just to give you the power to speak your mind, speak your gifts, speak your talents, and speak yourself into opportunities as well, and to ask for what you want. And to sell, permission to sell as well. Sell yourself, sell your gifts in all forms. All right, how are you doing? Yeah. Okay. All right, awesome. Good. That's good enough. Do you want a remuscle test just to make sure we've cleared it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm allowed to ask for money.
I am allowed to ask for money. It's like my weight is already forward.
Yeah, that's all. Good. And let's just make sure we've cleared. I'm allowed to share my gifts.
I am allowed to share my gifts.
Yeah, good. Yay. All right, good, Kerwin. So amazing. Yeah. Yeah, so awesome. If you I love this. Fantastic. All right, Kathy. So for you, Kathy, why don't you tell everybody, and that just in case you're joining us or just watching us, I'm Monica Shah, and what I do is money healings, and it's what I do is I look and see what kind of blocks are causing self-sabotage for my entrepreneur clients, and then I clear and release them, and it's a part of the work that I do as a business coach. So, Kathy, for you, and if you're watching, feel free to do the muscle testing. And when I do the clearing and the healing, I do it for everybody watching both now and in the future as well. So you can receive the healing as well. All right, Kathy, go ahead.
Thanks for having me. So I'm Kathy Nolan, known as Kathy Nolan Art, and I'm an artist where I draw people at live events and conferences, provide speaker gifts for people, and I'm also a teacher. I've taught a lot of cartooning workshops and classes over the years, and I'm currently working on putting everything online digitally and learning how to market it and all of that. But I tend to freeze when it comes to pricing things. I guess it's part of that compare and despair. Like I'm seeing people price a lot of great content at a low price, and I'm like, oh, all this work I'm doing. So I sometimes feel frustrated, not frustrated, but I've been turned down for work because perhaps I priced too high, and other times I've been turned down for work because people think it's too low or not, I don't know. So I feel like I've also been a bit too dependent. My basic needs are met. I've been a little too dependent on my husband financially, and I kind of want to shift that so that I can bring in income for both of us.
Okay, perfect. All right, let's muscle test, Kathy. Why don't you stand up, and I want you to muscle test. I'm allowed to make decisions.
Okay. I'm allowed to make decisions. Whoa, I went back.
Yeah, so that's a big one. We need to hit that
Good,
one.
you guys. She's good.
Yeah, and Carmen, feel free to test if you want to as well, and anybody that's watching, because this is a big one for everybody. If you're not allowed to make decisions, then it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? Like you could, like you're always going to be second guessing yourself around, should I price this? Should I offer this? Should I do this? Should I do that? And it makes it very difficult to work on your own. Like it, like to like it almost feels like you always have to be dependent on somebody else to make the decision for you, and then you go do it, and then even when you go do it, you're second guessing, so you don't do it as quickly as you'd like to do it, and then you come back, and then the more decisions have to be made for you, and it feels like you're going slower than you'd like. Is that been your experience, Kathy?
I mean, yes, but I was always independent and took care of myself before I got married.
Yeah.
15 years ago. So I think I just kind of got complacent along the years.
Yeah.
Because I can. And I feel like now I'm trying to revive that aspect of myself to decide and make good, big decisions and not second guess myself.
Okay, perfect. So you can have a seat. Let's talk this through. So do you feel like, because sometimes these beliefs, they creep in, do you feel like you've always had trouble making decisions, or is that
oh yeah, I'm a Libra. It's that perfectionism, balance things out. Once I do make a decision, I'll agonize for a while, and then once I make it, I'm like, once it's decided, then I just let go and move forward. But there have been many times in my life where I've agonized about, especially big decisions. It's a challenge at times for me.
Okay, so let me just think for a sec. All right, will you stand back up, Kathy? Because I want to muscle test
Sure.
Will you muscle test? This comes from this lifetime.
Pardon me?
That will you muscle test? This comes from this lifetime. This
Sure.
belief comes from this lifetime.
Okay. This comes from this lifetime. Yeah, I moved forward.
Interesting. Let's also just muscle test. This comes from a past lifetime because I think it's both.
This comes from a past lifetime. Yeah, I moved forward again.
Yeah. Okay. So let's first focus on. So what I'm getting is that this happened in a past lifetime, but it's been reinforced in this lifetime. And you've struggled with decisions now and decisions then. And so what I'm getting is that are you seeing so are you if you were to stop and ask creator, when was the very first lifetime that this happened in and why? Are you getting any images?
I had Egyptian images come in, but that's really a long time ago. I don't
Yeah,
know if
and
it's
that's
that.
okay.
Um, I see a farm, a lot of land. Maybe living in Europe.
Okay. Um, Totally. So when I first got a feel for maybe what has happened, I got that this was somewhat of it was an accident where you fell and you actually hurt a part of your head. And the part of your head that you hurt was the part around making decisions and moving forward. But there was also a part of you like at during that time they couldn't heal that piece of you, but there was also a part of you that felt like you deserved that, and like that you didn't want to make decisions because if you did, bad things could happen because when you made decisions you were in your full power. And being in your like just the corollary belief here is when I'm in my full power bad things happen.
Oh
um
my God, I can resonate with that. And what's weird, I'm sorry to interrupt.
yeah,
I,
please.
I went on a zip line 5 years ago and fell on my back and was knocked out,
Huh.
but nothing, I had a concussion. I mean, I'm fine.
Yeah.
It's really strange that happened again in this lifetime.
Yeah, yeah. I'm getting that. Yeah, that's kind of why I got past lifetime
But
as
it's true. Every time I made decisions, even before I got married, when I stepped into my full power, mistakes were made or it looked foolish. So I think this is partly why I second guess myself all the time.
yeah.
I don't know.
So we just need to. Well, I mean, we definitely need to get rid of that, right? When I'm in
Yeah.
my full power, bad things happen, or So um, what I'm getting is that when you were in your full power on this farm, like literally, I'm just getting an image of lightning. I don't know if that's a metaphor or it actually happened, but I'm getting a vision of lightning struck and everything burned down. And it had to do, and you blamed yourself for that. Now, clearly, that is not your fault, but you were in a time when anything that happened from nature, men and women blame themselves for, right? Because they didn't know how to explain it any other way. So it's like you thought I did something to deserve this lightning strike, and everything burning down. And from there on out, the combination of having the head injury and having this happen means that you just were like, I'm turning it off. I'm not deciding anything anymore, and I'm not stepping into my full power, and I'm going to bring people into my life that make decisions with me and for me. And I'm going to put people around me that help me to, so that I don't have to stand in my full power. Like I can, and it's not in a bad way, like, oh, I'm being weak. It's more like you just complement other people. They're complementary to you so that they can take more of a leadership role and stand in their full power. And then you support them to stand in their full power as a way to keep things safer for you, because there's just a deep belief that things could go wrong, like really wrong, or break down if you let it, if you were in your full power, if you stood out. So and what's interesting is that What I'm getting is that your higher self continues to play this out because there's a lesson to be learned. So typically when I get a belief system that keeps getting played out over and over again, it's because your higher self is like, oh, I want to learn. Oh, it's funny. Your higher self is saying, I wanted to learn true strength because I believe true strength is being able to live through everything. I believe that this is going to bring me closer to God. If I can, if I can be more humble, right, and not stand in my full power, and the opposite of it, when I get into my full power and bad things happen, it makes me stronger because I've been able to live through all those things, and it brings me closer to God, and I become more spiritual. So we're just going to let your higher self know that you are close to God. We don't need to replay this whole situation, and that you are strong from like multiple lifetimes, and we don't need to get any stronger. That you're infinitely strong right now. You're infinitely powerful. You're infinitely connected to God, the creator of the universe. We don't need to create any incidents to make that happen or to make that closer. And we're going to give you back the power to make decisions. We're going to call back all of the because you also have a lot of soul fragments that are scattered all over. So we're going to call back all your soul fragments. We're going to call back all the pieces of your brain so that you can operate on full capacity for your mind. And we're going to we're going to clear and release the experience of the lightning. We're also going to clear and release the experience of falling on your head. And we're also going to clear and release the zip line falling as well. We're going to clear and release all of those experiences, so that you don't have to keep carrying the hard lessons from them or the beliefs that were created as a result of them. So we're going to clear all of that and give you back. I'm allowed to make decisions. I'm allowed to use my full capacity. I'm allowed to share my gifts. I'm allowed to step into my full power. It is possible for me to step into my full power. When I step into my full power, amazing, beautiful things happen. When I step into my full power, I receive money, I receive opportunities, I receive infinite amounts of love. When I step into my full power, I have community all around me, and friends and family and clients. When I step into my full power, all my gifts appear, and I'm allowed, and it's accessible and possible for me to step into my full power every minute of every day, and that I can get back that superpower of being able to step into my full power. I'm also allowed to be a leader in my business and in my life, and I'm allowed to be a leader in my community and with my family. How does all of that sound? Yeah.
It's good. And I don't want to be afraid anymore of
Yeah.
making a mistake.
Yep. And we're gonna release the weight of all past mistakes. And we're going to release the weight of anything that was done in innocence but didn't turn out well. And we're going to release the fear of it. So you no longer have to be afraid. And we're just going to have you, we're going to up level your vocabulary for what it means to step into your full power. Because, there's no guarantee that stepping into your full power means that everything's going to work out. But the key is that you respond to things not working out differently, that you don't respond to them as like a problem, but you respond to them as instead of responding to them as a problem, you're resilient to them, right? You're able to like move from one place to the next place and go from there. So we're just going to upgrade your ability to step into your power and handle anything that happens as a result of standing in your power. We're also going to just give you that you're allowed to have focus. You're allowed to be clear about what you're doing. Yeah, good. All right, Kathy, how are you feeling?
I'm like ready to cry. I just want to get rid of this. Like, I know I have what it takes, and I'm holding myself back because of these false beliefs or whatever past life stuff, and I want to be free to be me, and with all the talents I've been blessed with, it's like, I need to be, why am I not making money? Like, it's ridiculous.
Yep. So stand up. Let's make sure we cleared it from your body.
To fix the camera.
So test, I'm allowed to make decisions.
I'm allowed to make decisions. I moved forward.
Yeah, and it's funny because it was a little slow because your body was a yes, but your mind was a no. Like
Right.
you know what I mean? And so part of what Creator's saying to me is, her body's now cleared, but that doesn't, so you have to practice making decisions now and sticking to them, and that's going to be a practice to just bring your mind back in alignment with your body, but it will be a lot easier. And then let's also test, I'm allowed to step into my full power.
I'm allowed to step into my full power. Yeah.
Yeah. Yay. Good, good, good. All right.
Without any bad incidents happening.
Yeah. Well, let's test that. I'm allowed to step into my full power without anything bad happening.
I'm allowed to step into my full power without anything bad happening. Yeah, I moved forward.
Good, 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 good. No, it's good to test everything, whatever little niggle is there. Yeah.
Thank you.
Awesome. Awesome. Great. Well, yeah, so thank you. You can have a seat, Kathy. How are you? So for both of you, I just always like to say, hey, Rochelle, it's great to see you. I'm actually not going to have time to do any more tonight because I actually have to move on to the next thing. So I'm so sorry, but we will do another money healing next month, and if you want to make sure that you're in line for that one, and this is for everybody that's watching, if you want to be a part of our next money healing, email support@revenuebreakthrough.com and say, I would like to be a part of the July or August money healing, and that way you can make sure that you're one of the couple people that gets on the list.
So what did I do? It's info. What's it at Revenue Breakthrough?
Support at Revenue
Support. Okay, terrific. I appreciate it.
Yeah, awesome. So for both of you, know that after, and for anybody listening that did any of the healings and the testing, know that you get a little tired after this. So you'll sleep well, and you may want to go to bed earlier tonight. And also for anybody that's watching, know that this type of healing is part of the work I do as a business coach. So if you're out there and you're looking for somebody who puts both sides of the equation together, right? Um, who's able to combine business coaching and strategy and what to do next with being able to clear blocks and help you figure out how to get over self-sabotage, then let's have a conversation, because I know many of you have talked to me in the past and said, I want a coach who's willing to go both ways, right? Who's willing to be spiritual and analytical, who's able to talk to ancestors and at the same time figure out how to help you do a launch, which I thankfully have had the unique ability to do. So also for those of you that do want to work with me and that is something that is on your agenda, I want to invite you to a program that we have. It's called the Virtual Revenue Breakthrough Intensive, and it's a 2-day program. And it's limited to 15 business owners. Kathy just participated in it 2 weeks ago. And Kathy, I'll let you talk about it in a minute. It's a small group of people on Zoom. Everybody gets one-on-one attention from me. We do healings together. We learn together. You get your specific business problems figured out. And if you're interested in learning more about the Revenue Breakthrough Intensive, we have one that's starting tomorrow, and there is 2 spots left for the one that's starting tomorrow. It's Thursday and Friday this week, and it is, if you go to revenuebreakthroughintensive.com, you can find out more about it, or you can just leave me a comment here and I'm happy to direct message you with the link to it. I'll also put the link in the comments. And then the next one is July 18th and 19th. And the investment in the Virtual Revenue Breakthrough Intensive is it's $9.95 typically, but because you're watching this video, you're going to get a special code from me, and that is save 500. So if you put save 500 in there, you'll get $500 off, and you can go to revenuebreakthroughintensive.com to get that price, or I'll put the comments in here afterwards as well. And if you're interested in the one that starts tomorrow, then definitely let me know. Leave me a comment if you're watching this, and we'll go from there. And the one that's on July 18th and 19th is a Saturday and a Sunday. So for those of you that are working full-time jobs or taking care of family, that might be an easier one for you to get to. And Kathy, do you want to speak just a little bit to the one that you were at?
Absolutely. This is my notebook from those 2 days. It was really enlightening and powerful because one, because it's such a small setting, you really get to know everybody. You get to know who they are, the essence of who they are, their business, what their struggles are. So it's kind of like you're part of the community already. And it's a great opportunity to just know that whatever issues or problems you might be having with yourself or your business, you're not really alone because you'll be hearing other people's stories. And then just, learning about how to scale your business, how to show up with resilience, there's just so much that you learn, not only about what you need to work on, but the healing is amazing. And I really got a lot out of it. And it was definitely worth the price, and it was definitely worth the 2 full days. So definitely you're going to get your money's worth. Get hands down. And I'm not an affiliate or anything. I'm just saying from my experience, it was very powerful, and it will be for you as well.
Awesome. Thank you, Kathy. I appreciate it. All right. Thank you to all of you. Thank you, Rochelle, for coming on. Love it. So great to see you. And I did all the downloads for you as well, by the way, because you were there. I saw you waiting. So I did them all for you as well. Mwah. Bye, everyone. Take care.
Bye.